I nearly got scammed when I swapped for this Mercedes C250.
Because after I swapped for this car and drove it home, the morning after I realised that the engine was making an awful rattling noise. At first, I thought it was the worst case scenario and the timing chain had to be replaced, which meant that the engine needed to come out.
And if the timing chain did need replacing, it would have cost thousands of pounds. But luckily for me, I managed to fix it for a lot less.
I bought a timing chain tensioner for £150. I removed the old one, fitted the new one, and at first the noise was still there, but after letting the car get up to temperature, it went away.
That's fixed!
I've definitely dodged a bullet with this one, and I've learnt my lesson of doing my checks before I shake someone's hand. But now this car is almost ready to swap on in hopes of one day swapping my way up to my dream supercar. But before I can move this car on, there's still a few small issues that I need to fix.
So, the first problem that we need to solve with this Mercedes is one that I didn't actually notice when we were doing the oil change, but plenty of you guys did, and that is the fact that the oil filter housing on this car is actually broken. I did not know that they came attached with one of them big strainer tube things. I didn't know that. Apparently they do. So I've ordered a new one, and that should be exactly what is in this box. This is actually from Amazon, believe it or not, and it has got brand new seals on it, all three of them, and it has that strainer that mine was missing. Where that went, I don't know. Hopefully it didn't go that way and it snapped out of the car, but we've given the car an oil change, so I'm quickly going to remove the old oil filter housing, replace the oil filter, and then put this back in.
Now with the engine cover removed, it gives me better access, but to loosen the housing I need to first remove the little plastic cover, and then I can undo the oil filter.
Everyone was right, and I don't know why I didn't notice that. Maybe it's just because I thought that that was how it was meant to be, but as you can see, that is clearly completely snapped off. It's meant to look like this one, which as you can see it doesn't, and I actually am mistaken. I thought the little O-rings that come with the oil filter were for the sump plug and the seal around the oil filter housing. It's not. If I'd have had this and that one wasn't broken, there's one seal there, another one there, and also another one there. I mean, could that be the reason that the chain started to make that noise? I don't know. Is that a theory? Because there's clearly seals there for some reason, and this goes all the way down into... Oh wait.
And right now I'm about to find out exactly where the other half of that oil filter housing has disappeared to.
Oh, that's the other half. That's the other half of the oil filter housing. Oh no, is that not going to come out now?
This could actually be really bad. If this thing has gone brittle and it's going to snap while I'm trying to take it out, then it could end up falling into the engine, which is going to cause serious damage. So hopefully I can get it out without it falling down there.
I might actually have to just take off the complete oil filter housing, like with the cooler and everything. That's not going to come out of there, is it? This car is just like the gift that keeps on giving, isn't it?
I've pretty much got two options. First is try and attempt to actually pull it out with some long nose pliers, but if I do that and the plastic snaps, then I'm risking the plastic falling into the engine. The other option, which is going to take me a long time, is to take the complete oil filter housing off, which includes pulling out the oil cooler, which I don't really want to do. So I guess I'm going to try the first option and just keep my fingers crossed. Yes. Oh yes, I thought that it snapped in half then, because if that had snapped in half, I'd have no way of being able to got that. Imagine if it snapped like there, in the actual.
I thought we were going to have to take the entire housing off then, and the thing is with these, is the housing is actually part of the oil cooler. So, well, oil filter cooler or whatever you want to call it, so it'd have been a pretty annoying job to have to do, but right, that's out, and well, we can confirm that that was definitely broken, so I'm glad I've got a new one. Okay, new oil filter.
So I can now fit the new oil filter onto the new oil filter housing. I don't actually need to replace any of the seals this time because the housing actually comes with brand new ones. So I can get that fitted and get it back into place and tighten it down to 25 Newton meters. Last thing to do now is just refit that little plastic cover that goes on top of the oil filter housing, and then of course refit the engine cover, and that is a job well done.
Okay, that's that job done, and at the end of the video we'll add up how much it's cost to fix this Mercedes. But the next error on the dashboard is this. Every time I turn the car on, I'm greeted with this, which pretty much means that one of the number plate bulbs is out. Which one? I'm yet to find out. If we come round to the back, we can clearly see that that one is working and that one isn't. What I've ordered and what should be in here is a number plate light, and you can't actually get these off Amazon or anything like that, and I'm not sure if there's even an aftermarket company that makes these. So I've had to buy one from a breaker's yard, and I'm hoping that this is exactly what I need it to be, which it is, a number plate bulb for a Mercedes C250. Why these are so unique and special, I don't know, but we're going to take the old one out and replace it with this one.
And Mercedes have made these pretty easy to swap and change. All you've got to do is pull them out of position with a flathead screwdriver, unplug them, swap them over, and then just simply push them back into position. And now I've just got to hope that this one works and it's not a wiring issue.
Oh yes, job fixed.
And now I know it's working, I can push this one back into its position, and all I've got to check now is if that fault code has gone from the dashboard.
Okay, so if we go home and scroll down to service, there we go, we have 0 messages.
But even though the car is saying that there's 0 faults on the dashboard, there's still a couple that need repairing. The first one is the tyre pressure monitoring system. This is telling me that one of the sensors has actually come disconnected, or the battery could have died. So I need to get that solved. And I know exactly the place to take it.
And that is the wheelman. So let's head there and hopefully get this issue sorted. Sam? How are you again, mate? As always, he's coming through and helping me out. Well, this time actually diagnosing a problem with this car. What do you think, mate? You've seen nearly every car so far that I've had.
Yeah, we've just gone through the list of all the cars, haven't we?
All the cars, yeah, 10 so far.
That's mad.
What do you think?
I love this.
Do you like it?
Yeah, I love it.
What one of your favourites that I've done?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, this and the CSL, was it? CLS?
Oh, CLS,
I
the
love
silver
that,
one.
yeah.
That was, yes, that was about a year ago now. Yeah, that's crazy.
Value for money for what you're getting. There's a lot of car in it for.
It is a lot of car.
What,
It's
about
got
10 grand?
Yeah, that's about what it is. Trade kind of
That's
trade
mad.
value. But I need problem sorting, mate.
Yeah.
And I was driving along. I've got the warning come up on the dashboard, and I think it's going to be the passenger side front wheel sensor, tyre pressure
TPMS,
sensor.
yeah.
TPMS, that's the one.
Yeah, we'll
so
check them all anyway, just to double check they're all okay. But
spot on. Nice
I
one.
get the tool.
Sweet.
Right. So just put in the correct vehicle. So Mercedes C-Class 2016. Just going to walk around the car in a minute and scan each one of the sensors from each of the wheels, and hopefully we'll get an ID scan on each wheel, but we'll see what happens. So what should happen is the sensor behind the tyre should trigger,
Give it a signal.
and give it a little signal yet, which doesn't seem to be happening. Yeah, that's not working, so that one's not.
What do you think, the battery's died on the sensor?
Yeah, so the batteries inside them are non-replaceable.
Oh, great.
But they'll normally last about 7 to 10 years.
Okay.
So it's
About due.
About due, yeah. So it wouldn't surprise me if the others are probably close to being
On the way out.
on the way out
Got
as well.
you.
But we'll check them all. So
Yeah,
let's
yeah,
check
yeah,
the passenger rear. There we go.
got
So
it.
that's the ID for the sensor. So that's constantly communicating back to the car,
Got you.
telling the car that the tyre pressure is around about 36. Also tells you the temperature of the tyre, and it also tells you what the battery strength is, which it says normal. So for now, this battery's okay.
That one's okay.
We'll just check the other ones as well. Yeah, that's fine.
That's got one.
Yeah, that's fine as well.
So definitely front left.
So the issue is, normally what would happen is we'd actually copy the ID, would clone the information from that sensor, and we'd program it into a new sensor.
But because it's died?
Yeah, because it's died, we can't do that. So if we take the tyre off, normally on the back of the sensor, it's printed what the ID is.
Okay.
But often it's old, it's probably been, had 10 years worth of wear,
so
sometimes you can't read the information. But what you can do is plug into the OBD, and we can actually retrieve that information.
And this does all of that?
Yeah, it does all that.
Cool.
So we'll be able to plug that in a second.
Oh, so you can fix it?
Yeah, so we'll plug it in
Oh,
a
I thought you meant that you couldn't fix it.
No, so we'll plug it in, we'll actually read what ID it's supposed to have.
Okay.
And then we'll clone that information onto a brand new sensor for you.
Oh, mint.
So give us a couple of seconds, we'll get it plugged in.
This is exactly why you come to the Wheelman. Not just for tyres, not just for wheels, but also for your sensors.
So now Sam's plugged the diagnostic machine in, he can read what the ID number is supposed to be for the TPMS sensor that has died. And now he's found the ID number, he can then transfer that code to a brand new sensor. And as easy as that, the problem should be fixed.
There we go.
Program success. So that's just now programmed the car to that sensor?
Exactly, yeah.
That is cool. That is cool.
What we'll do is we'll take your wheel off in a second, get the tyre off, and we'll get that brand new sensor installed, yeah.
So Sam's going to take the wheel off, but while he was doing that, we noticed how worn out the front two tyres were. So I'm going to buy 2 new ones because I want to make sure that the car is safe for the next owner. Sam can now remove the old tyre and then fit the new one and then balance it. And now it's onto the other side with the broken sensor.
There's the culprit.
Yeah. So inside here is a battery, but you can't replace that battery.
That is the original
completely fixed unit, yeah. Yeah. But behind you is the new sensor, all programmed with the ID and information from this one that's now in this one.
So we can now install the new sensor and of course fit the new tyre, balance it and get it back on the car, but not without a little upgrade. And now the last job with how horrible and nasty the old centre caps have gone. Sam has kindly provided us with some brand new blacked out new ones, which I think are going to look way better. So the last job is to pop all 4 of these in. And although the wheels do need a good wash, I think they look 100 times better and way more modern. Now it's time to see if the sensor has actually solved that problem on the dashboard. And now, if all is successful, the light on the dashboard should have gone away. Give it a minute. Right, so we've got to go to, I think, home. It'll be service.
Yeah.
Tyre pressure?
Yeah.
Tyre pressures will be displayed after a few minutes of driving.
So what we've got to do is take the car around the block and just make sure that that sensor is definitely communicating with the ECU. But before I do that, we want to make sure that it's actually working properly. So Sam is just going to scan it one more time.
There we go. It's definitely working then.
Yeah.
So once you take it for a drive, it should clear itself off the screen.
Yeah.
Sam,
perfect.
Thank you very much once again, mate. Absolute lifesaver. As always, I'll leave the link to the Wheelman in the description below for all your tyres, wheels, and now TPS sensors and centre cap needs. Hit the link in the description. Right, let's go see if it turns off.
And after a few minutes of driving, the light disappeared from the dashboard. A job well done. Now let's head back to the driveway, and I've got a couple of more issues left to fix.
And now we have no fault codes at all showing on the dashboard, and just to make sure that we've not got no fault codes inside of any of the control modules, I'm going to give the car a scan, and how I'm going to do that is with Carly. Now, if you don't already know what Carly is, this little device here actually offers manufacturer level diagnostics, car coding and customization, and also offers a used car check, so you can uncover mileage discrepancies and actually tell how the car has been driven. So I'm going to get it plugged in and we're going to scan this Mercedes through.
And all you've got to do once you've plugged your Carly device in is simply open the Carly app on your phone, connect it to your car, and then it's going to scan through all of the control modules on your vehicle.
So the app has now told us that it has found 4 issues with this car. So I'm going to hit diagnostics, and we can see that there's a fault with
the driver's side SAM front signal, we've got an air conditioning, a left headlamp, and also a tailgate control, which these all seem like little electrical issues. What I am most interested in is the fact that the engine control module has no issues on it whatsoever. So I'm going to say that this is pretty healthy. Not only that, you can also check the live data, so you can check what the car is doing at each given moment, all from your mobile device. As you can see here, we've got all the information from the engine control module. We've got O2 sensors, we've got time since engine start, vehicle speed, mass airflow sensors. We've got everything you would need to check while you're on the road to make sure that your car is running in tip-top condition. I'm saying that is a great success because we no longer have any faults on the engine control module, and thanks to Carly we've been able to determine that. So what I'll do is I'll leave the link for Carly in the description below, and if you use the discount code on the screen, which is just Jesse, you also get money off. And honestly, you'll thank me later, because just having one of these in your pocket could save you thousands of pounds. Right, there's not actually that much left to do to this car, and then we can start looking at moving it on. Okay, we're on to the last issue. I think with this Mercedes, once this is done, this should be a pretty fault-free car, and it'll be nice and ready for the next owner. And that issue is yet again another one on the dashboard that has recently just started becoming a problem. So if I turn the car on, apart from low fuel, we are greeted with this little warning light thing here that says check brake pad wear. Now that would be all good and well, but I have gone round every single corner of this car, and it looks like the brake pads on the rear have recently been changed because they're really, really thick. The ones on the front, you guys won't be able to see it because it's way down in the caliper down there, but there's plenty of pad left on the front ones, which has left me with a little bit of a predicament because I don't actually know which sensor has either malfunctioned or which corner of the car that error is relating to. So I'm gonna have to try and find out. But if I look back at the report from when I scanned it through on the Carly app, I can actually see which corner the fault is coming from.
If I hit diagnose, I can actually see that that first fault code says the brake pad wear sensor at the front right has malfunctioned. There is an interruption slash circuit open. So thanks to Carly, I don't have to then take every single wheel off to try and see or find where the problem is. It is telling us that somewhere here there is an issue. So I think we just need to order a brake pad sensor, because there's no point changing pads that have got 3/4 of the life left in them. So I'm going to head to MPD, get a brake pad wear sensor, and I think just replace it and see what happens. And there we go, a quick trip to Motor Parts Direct. We have two brand new brake pad wear sensors, I think these are called. So to swap this over, I think it's literally just take the wheel off and then you can get access to the old ones, pull the old ones out and replace them with these. So we'll give that a go, and hopefully that is all it needs and it's not a further wiring issue beyond these sensors. Let's get them switched.
So first I'm going to loosen the wheel nuts, jack the car up and then take the wheel off. Now that gives me access to the brake pad sensor. I'm going to disconnect it from the brake pad, then unplug it and replace it with the new one and hope that that solved the problem.
Well, that was pretty easy to change. So because it's easy, I'm assuming that is not going to have taken the error off the dashboard, but let's find out. Let's see. That was literally a 2-minute job. So normally when that's the case, it hasn't fixed it. Okay, one error. No way. Service, 0 messages. Well, I stand mistaken. That has fixed it. Fair enough. Fair enough, I can't actually grumble at that one. Normally I'm a little bit of a hater
on German cars because they overcomplicate things, but that was very easy. Carly told me it was the sensor, I replaced the sensor, and the fault was gone away. So yeah, a job well done. And there we go. We have a completely faultless Mercedes C250, and I can't believe that already we're going to be looking at getting rid of this car and moving on to the next one. But the big elephant in the room is, of course, the problem that I thought this car only really had, and that is the service history. And I have actually contacted a friend of mine, T Servicing, and he has told me the service history from Mercedes on this car, and unfortunately it only got done the once. As you can see here, we've got KS66 LFL, and the service was done at 10,142 miles. That is the only recorded service that this car has had on the system. So I'm assuming it's probably been done privately at an independent garage since then, and it has just got lost with the car. So unfortunately, the only two services that I can actually prove are the one on 10,000 and also the one that I just did, which was about 500 miles ago, which is a little bit annoying, but at least the next owner knows that it did have a service at 10,000 and it's just been serviced. So I'm going to fill out this booklet myself, put it in with the car, ready for the next owner. Okay, now the last thing we've got to do is get this looking the best we can get it, ready to get it online.
And that is giving it a well-deserved wash. I'm not sure the last time that this car was cleaned, but I know I haven't done it and it's well overdue. So I'm going to start by applying some snow foam and then pressure wash the entire car. Now I'm onto the hand wash. The unfortunate thing with this car is its colour, white. Although it looks amazing and doesn't age as fast as other colours, white shows the dirt the easiest and is also the easiest colour to stain. But now that's done, I'm going to dry the car off, and it's made a huge difference just by giving it a quick clean.
That's it. The Mercedes C250 that I thought I got scammed on is now complete, and it's time to put this car online and hopefully move it on as soon as possible. So I think we should go out to a nice good location, get some good pictures of this car, and then we can come back, look at the pricing, and then get it online and get it up for sale. Let's go.
So we're on to that time again where I can go round and get some thorough pictures of this car. I'm not going to hide any angles because I've got nothing to hide with this car, so I'm going to get as many pictures as I can of the interior, the exterior, the wheels, and just show how the condition of this car currently is. And once I've done that, I can now head back to the driveway once again to get some proper information and pricing on this Mercedes, so I know how to put it up for a fair price.
Okay, so as you all know, I swapped my old Jaguar XF for this Mercedes-Benz C-Class. There was no cash included, there was nothing included except logbook for logbook. I gave them the Jag and I drove away in this. So, the Jaguar, right now, we've got trade, private and retail. The one I go off is private because I'm not a garage, I'm not a retailer, and technically I'm not a trader. So I normally just base the pricing off the private price, which is the trade price on the Jaguar XF is £7,402. The private sale price is £9,150, and the retail on the Jaguar is £11,404. The Mercedes, on the other hand, we took a pretty good jump on this car in value, and I'm hoping that it's going to take me into the 5-figure mark. So the trade value on the Mercedes is £9,541. So the private sale price of the Jaguar is actually less than the trade value of the Merc. That's how big of a step we've made. The private sale value is £10,890, and the retail value is actually £12,867, which is a big jump in all fairness. Looking at the numbers, we have took a pretty nice jump there, nearly £2,000 across the board of how much they are actually worth. So that's good news. But of course there's a few issues with this car, and we've also spent a little bit of money fixing it. Now the main issue with this car, as we all know, is the lack of its service history. So that is definitely going to affect the price. Not only that, but if we come on the interior, one of the biggest things that affects the price is going to be these cheap, horrible, nasty, plastic, fake leather Mercedes seats. Unfortunately, they just don't put up with the test of time, and it's something that I could have replaced, but it would have eaten away into the profits, and I'm trying to get to that supercar as quick as I can. So that's something I've got to take in mind, along with the service history, of how to price this car. The good news is it is faultless. There's no engine lights, there's no warning lights, there's nothing on the dashboard that you wouldn't want, and it is in fairly good condition. The alloys could probably do with a refurb, but the rear tyres are pretty new, the front tyres are brand new, and yeah, overall it's a pretty decent car. But we had to spend some money to get it here, so we've got to add that up. Okay, parts. To start with, I bought the service booklet. That was £13. Next was a number plate light. I had to get that from a breaker's yard because it needed to be an OEM one. That, luckily, was only £12. Next is the timing chain tensioner. That is the most expensive part on this, and that was £135, a lot cheaper than a timing chain, which I'm happy with that price. Next was the AC pressure sensor. If you remember in the last video, we had to get that done so the fans weren't constantly on. That was only that was only £15. Then we've got oil and oil filter, which shout out to MPD once again because they always sort me out. For oil and oil filter, that was £35. Then we've got two new front tyres. Wheelman, again, another massive help of the channel. Them two tyres came to £64, and yes, they are budgets, they are the cheapest ones you can get, but I'm doing someone a favour by replacing them. This isn't going to be smashed around the Nürburgring, so it doesn't matter. Everyone can calm down. Last but not least, the brake pad wear sensor. That was literally £6, which brings us to a grand total of £280, which is an absolute bargain considering what I thought it might have cost to fix this car. I honestly thought this was going to be a very big hurdle in this series and was going to take me a very long time, and what I've got to remember is taking these risks. This is a diesel Mercedes C-Class. There's kind of no end goal like there was with the Scirocco R, like there was with the M135i, whereas when you get them back on the road, they're fun to drive, they're exciting, they're good to watch, and they're kind of sought after cars. It's just a diesel, so if I had to do all that work to get it put back on the road, people are going to lose interest. So I'm very glad that I got lucky once again, and it's only cost us £280. So what do I think we should put this car up for? Trade is 9.5, private is 11, and retail is 13. I just think what would be fair and what would actually do me a really good step in this series is getting to 5 figures. So I think it would be fair to put this car up for the minimum amount of £10,000. I think that should be what it's worth, taking away the service history and the rips in the seats, knocking £1,000 off its actual value, I think is fair, and it gets me into the 5 figures. So I guess it's up to whoever buys it or swaps it with me. I'm happy to take either. I've been doing swapping for the most part of this series, but with how long that can sometimes take, I'm more than happy to take either money or a vehicle in exchange. So with all that rambling, let's get the pictures, let's get it on the internet and see what we get offered.
So as per usual, I'm going to take my time with this advert and be as transparent and honest as I can, because the advert is the most important part about this series. If I was to make no effort in uploading these cars for swaps and sale, then no one would make the effort to come and view them. So the ad is one of the most important things in my opinion. So I'm going to write the whole description, being as honest as I can, and make sure that I don't miss any of the little details.
Right. There we go, the advert is done. I have wrote a pretty thorough explanation on everything with the car. I've been as open and honest as possible on any of the kind of bad bits on the car. I feel like it's as important to include the bad bits as it is the good bits with a car ad, because it just shows true transparency. So I've been as honest as I can with everything I know about the car, told them what I've done with it, told them that it's got no service history, etc, etc. So we're gonna hit publish. There we go, it is live, it is on, it is official. That is it, that is the Merc done and dusted, and I'm pretty glad that we got away lightly on that one. But it goes without saying, if any of you guys are interested in the Merc, whether that's swapping me for something or wanting to buy it, then definitely let me know. But if you did enjoy this video, please like, comment and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
You wear a hat they call dad. Me, I'm the dad in a hat. You just like clubbing and clothes. Me, I like afternoon naps. 3, I be missed for the road. My oldest like counting racks. My middle one, she's in a dirt bike. My youngest is just like a mama. The mama loves me and I love her, so if she wants something, it's never a bother. 3 little ladies, my babies, and one.